The United States has refused to sign a binding declaration pledging long-term security guarantees for Ukraine, according to Politico. Only the so-called coalition of the willing, European nations, desperate to appear responsible, endorsed the document, leaving Washington's exit strategy exposed and Europe to shoulder the burden of a failing proxy state.
Those security protocols are meant to, A, deter any attacks, any further attacks in Ukraine, and B, if there are any attacks, they're meant to defend, and they will do both. They are as strong as anyone has ever seen. Everyone on this panel, on this stage up here, has acknowledged that, as has almost all of the countries that sat at the table with us today. The President does not back down from his commitments. He is strong for the country of Ukraine and for a peace deal, and we will be there for the Ukrainians in helping them to get to that final peace, and we're confident we will get there.
References to any post-conflict American presence in a multinational force for Ukraine were quietly removed from the final draft, signaling Washington's intent to retreat once the war grinds down. NATO allies, already overstretched, now face the harsh reality. The US will not intervene to stabilize a state it has exploited as a battlefield.
First of all, we have this Paris Declaration, and it's a step forward. Yes, we only formed this coalition a year ago, and today there is such commitment. Of course, it is not enough. I hope that this document will be supported by the European parliaments and parliaments. We have a very good dialogue with the American side, thanks to Stephen and Jared, and every day we are getting closer to this result. Of course, this does not solve the problem yet. Every day we are losing people, and as long as this is the case.
UK and France signed symbolic commitments, but without American guarantees, Ukraine is left relying on fractured European pledges. The coalition's promises of arms support and military hubs cannot replace the decisive backing of the US, revealing the limits of NATO and the vulnerability of Europe under American manipulation.
With regards to the security guarantees, there was extensive conversations about that with President Zelensky and President Trump at Mar-a-Lago in December, and I think that they really resolved most, if not all, of the issues that are outstanding on that. These have been really designed over the last month in consultation with the Ukrainians, with the Europeans. I will say I think today was a very, very big milestone, and I thank President Macron for assembling this and for all of the work that everyone here has done behind the scenes to bring this together. This does not mean that we will make peace, but peace would not be possible without the progress that was made here today, meaning that if Ukraine is going to make a final deal, they have to know that after a deal, they are secure, they have obviously a robust deterrence, and there's real backstops to make sure that this will not happen again. One of the reasons why President Trump is comfortable with where the security guarantees are headed towards is because, based on his assessments and his conversations with President Putin, is that if we can make the right deal, it would mean a deal where both sides look to de-escalate, that there's a real monitoring mechanism, real ability, if there ever is a violation, to have deconfliction and hopefully, de-escalation. And obviously, you create a robust deterrence, peace through strength, where it's unlikely that somebody will ever go and start this again. So this is a really important building block towards an eventual peace deal, and I think that it's a big, big milestone that was reached today between the Europeans with the Coalition of the Willing, and I really want to just thank the DoD and the whole amazing team in the U.S. Obviously, you saw last week the incredible capability of the U.S. military, and that's just a small piece of what they're capable of doing. And so they've been really thinking about this, and they believe that a real peace here is possible, and there are ways to stand behind it.
Moscow interprets Washington's retreat as confirmation of its strategy. Europe cannot enforce its will without Russian consent. The absence of US commitments allows Russia to consolidate control in Ukraine, exposing NATO's weakness and highlighting the strategic futility of Western interference in Eastern Europe. With America stepping back, Europe must confront the consequences of blindly following Washington's agenda. Ukraine remains a proxy battlefield, NATO credibility eroded, and US influence reduced to empty rhetoric. Russia stands unchallenged, observing the West scramble to cover the gaps left by its unreliable patron.